Hey, what's up everyone? This is Evan Carthy from evancarthy.com. This is going to be a video for the week of February 16th. That's going to go over the major markets plus oil and Bitcoin as well. Just going to see what setups are showing for this next week coming up. Monday is President's Day here in the US, so it'll be a shorter trading day. I think it cuts off around noon Central Time, and there'll be a lot lighter volume, so probably not a whole lot going on between now and Tuesday morning. But without further ado, let's get it kicking off. So here we're looking at the S&P 500 mini futures right here. So what we're looking at right here is currently it's kind of getting close to the northern end of a broadening triangle setup being complete. Down here you have the fourth point, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. So what we're looking for is this high to get broken over here, 3386.25. So I'm expecting, at least in the first part of next week, if this setup does come to completion up here, for this high to get broken. Right now it's at 3380.75, so looking for 3386.25, and then from there it just depends if it's going to go up and reach one of the Fibonacci extension levels. If that is going to be hit, or if it's just going to tick up right here and then go back down. So that's what we're looking for in the S&P 500, some move up at the beginning of next week. Here in the Dow Jones right here, we are getting into a symmetrical triangle right here. So it's fixing to break out either big to the up or big to the downside, but unfortunately right now I'm just not sure, because as you can see, you have a lower low, another lower low. Here you have a lower high and another lower high going down right here. So eventually when price breaks out of this range, it's probably going to catapult one way or the other. And also with these trades right here, none of them have closed below the respective yellow lines, and also the shift pitchfork as well. For like this setup, for instance, you can see that right there, still hasn't closed that to the downside, and it hasn't closed north to the upside right here, or on that one right there. So until it does, I'm just kind of in a holding pattern unless you get some other 78.6 trades here, like you have one right there, broke out, nice little short trade right there. There you had 78.6, broke out to the upside right there, another one broke out up right there. So just taking some small trades here and there for what presents itself. But yeah, probably the big move isn't going to happen until it breaks out one way or the other. If it closes above the north side up here, it closes above the south side down here. So we're just kind of like in the middle of it. But as these go kind of in tandem between the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones, I'd be looking for more upside to start the week, as well as with the S&P 500. Here we have the Russell 2000. Now what we have here is pretty interesting. So we had a broadening triangle all the way down here where it just shot up past all the Fibonacci areas. So then when that happens, what we're looking at doing is the first trade is it hitting right here about the middle of the shift line, which it did, bounced up nice, and then went up even higher for it. Now it's come back down in the second time, which isn't a valid trade I take. But one thing I do look for is for price to close below the shift pitchfork right here. And when it does that, what I'd be looking for is price to go down to the 50% level, which is at top of that green line, and that's just Fibonacci retracement level using the swing low from that broadening triangle right there all the way up to the swing high up there for it. So the one question I do have about this is, if I lower this down here real quick, you can see price came very close to hitting the 50%. So a lot of times I'll just consider that dead and done. So probably for this trade, I'm probably not going to take, after further review, probably not going to take this short when it breaks below it. But again, I'm not sure, just because it came down real close to completing the setup at the 50%. So it's just interesting. It's just interesting to see what it's going to do. But so right now I'm just waiting on that, see if it breaks below the bottom of the shift pitchfork line, and I think there would be some more downside for it. But until it does that, we're just waiting on it. As you can see right here, there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I believe this one got completed late last week. For that broadening, yeah, it completed it. So that setup's dead and gone. So we're just waiting around for the Russell 2000 to see what it's going to do. But if there is more weakness and it does close below the shift pitchfork here, then look for it to come down to at least around 1678.3, assuming that swing high holds. All right, now for the Nasdaq right here, again, it's kind of similar to the first two charts for S&P 500 and the Dow Jones. We have a broadening triangle or expanding triangle right here, so we're looking for more room up. You have first pivot, second pivot, third higher high, fourth lower low. So now we're looking for a higher high right here, looking for it to break around 9642.25. When it does that, then that will be the fifth leg of the expanding move, and then it's just time to see how much higher it goes. If one of these Fibonacci levels, the 1.236, 1.618, 200 or whatever, if one of those are going to be where it turns around and retraces from. So not sure, drawn that on there. It looks like if it does break that point up right there, definitely the top of that shift pitchfork line right there could be the resistance for it and around the 1.236. But as a setup as seen for S&P 500 as well as the Dow Jones, it definitely looks like we should be looking for more upside to the market at the beginning of the week. Now for gold, what's going on with gold? Let me zoom out here a little bit, because right now there's a lot of junk on the chart, but what is happening right here is these red boxes are resistance levels. That's the 50 to 61.8, that first one. The second one is 61.8 to 70.6. So it's in the middle of those, and it's for the 1 hour chart, and it is in two more of those boxes from this move up here to that move down there. You can see the support boxes right here went all the way down to 70.6 and bounced out and found support. So right now it is in the resistant boxes. So just I have to be careful and look at going long. Currently there isn't any, there's not a 78.6 trade. That one was completed. You can see the broadening trade right here. This one's completed because you can take it down at 0.4 down there, take it up to the high because it blasted through a bunch of Fibonacci extension levels, but came down. You can see, let's see if I can zoom in a little bit right there. You can see with the middle of where the mouse is highlighted right there, price came down and barely ticked the 50%, but that's enough to complete that setup right there. So that broadening triangles move is completed. So with gold, we're just waiting around to see, but since it is going into 70.6 and another box, definitely looking for some resistance moving forward. Now moving over to, we got two more to do. We're gonna look at oil right here and then Bitcoin. So with oil, what we're looking at right here moving forward to next week is we have the 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're looking for a movement eventually down to the fifth level over here. And we just have to see if this is going to be a valid broadening triangle for it. Currently going into the fourth move of it, it is hitting off of the 1.236. Doesn't mean it can't go higher and just blow it out, and this wouldn't be a valid broadening triangle setup, but it definitely is at the fourth point for it right there. So it's also hitting off of these, see this level right here. Let me draw this line. It's hitting off of definitely a resistance area right here, so there's reason to believe that oil could, at the beginning of this week, go back down more, down into the mid 51 level for it, and even a little bit more lower towards it. Then you have this one right here, another broadening triangle, one first pivot, second pivot, third pivot, fourth pivot. Then if you want to make it a true fifth pivot point, we do need price to go up a little bit higher to break this pivot point right here at 52.34. So if it does that, then look for the sell-off. So that is my prediction for I think it's going to happen oil early in next week. Is price is going to come up, break this level right here that gives it the fifth pivot point to complete that broadening triangle as far as the five pivot points. Then this will also set up the fourth pivot point, which is already set up for it, but I do expect this one to go up a little bit higher to at least around the 1.618 level, probably around 52.41, something like that, but definitely between 52.41 and higher. That would complete the fifth pivot point, get that fourth one at a Fibonacci extension level, and then after that we would definitely be looking for the move down to break this low down here, down below, 51.59 level. So that's my prediction for the oil market. Goes up, completes that fifth one, and then goes down and creates fifth one for this broadening triangle move right here. Then lastly, for Bitcoin and what's going on right there, we're going to look at that, and the daily chart right there is Bitcoin is in the middle of a broadening triangle setup. Here you have the first pivot, second pivot, third pivot, higher high, fourth pivot, lower low. Now it's created the fifth pivot right up here. So definitely in the near term future, looking for, although it's on daily charts, so it could be a while, looking for some resistance or looking for retracement in Bitcoin. And if we put the shift pitchfork on the first three levels right there, you can see if price is going to use the shift pitchfork as some retracement level, then there could be definitely a shoot up of Bitcoin here in the next couple days, if it is going to use that as a resistance level for it, which it usually does when it has that far away from the shift pitchfork to go. So definitely looking for a little bit more bullish side from Bitcoin, and then eventually some type of retracement happening depending on where Bitcoin turns on it, all the way down to the 50% level. So it just depends where the pivot point is going to be. I can see right now it's currently already a valid fifth point right there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it could turn at any time, and then it gets completed whenever price comes back and hits the 50%. Of course, it can go much lower than that for sure, but the way I trade, I look forward to that move to be complete when I'm getting out of a trade, if I'm in the broadening triangle, to that level down there. So that's the major markets plus oil, Bitcoin as well for the week of February 16th. Like I said, Monday is going to be President's Day, so it's going to be a whole lot slower, and the market's closing earlier. So really Tuesday is when things are going to start picking up for as well. So anyways, take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.